think I'm ready. I think I'm ready for this video. I've been stretching, been exercising for this video. Not because it's physically demanding, but it's mentally demanding. This video is all about knowledge. Pokemon cards. They are pieces of cardboard with printed pictures and texts on them to serve as your character, item, or ability to play the Pokemon card game. But some of these cards rise above the others. Some of them are more than a card played with friends. Some are more than a fictional character fighting alongside you in a card game. These cards are not found in your mother's attic from your childhood, are not found in any booster pack, are not even found in any promotional box that came out in Japan in 2005. These cards are won. They are trophy cards. They are won by competing against people with the same skill or even more at these events that are held in Japan, such as regionals or worlds. And if you compete and win against all odds, then and only then are you able to obtain one of these prized and beautiful cards. In today's video, I'll be discussing the 2007 and 2008 Regional Battle Road Spring and Winter event, as well as the 2009 Japanese World Championship, where at these three events you were able to obtain the Mysterious Pearl, the Miracle Diamond, and the Wonder Platinum. The first of these three cards I am able to showcase today, the Mysterious Pearl. The Mysterious Pearl is a full holographic silver border lining around a half-art illustration by Ro Yeda showcasing a holographic pearl amulet superimposed on a purple and blue rippling water effect with the legendary Pokemon Palkia. The two events you were able to obtain this card in were the 2007 Battle Roads Spring event as well as the 2000 Battle Roads Winter event held in Japan. They are held in between the time frames of March through April 2007 and November 2007 to January 2008. Now the distribution on this card is particularly hazy. We know for certain in the Spring 2007 event there were 81 distributed, which were given to the top 3 competitors in each age division. Now the age division were divided into 3 categories. The Junior League, which were kids that were born after 1995. The Senior League, that were trainers that were born in between 1989 to 1995. And the Master League, that were trainers born before 1989. Now this event's admission was a little bit different. It was really restrictive. It was done actually by lottery, where you would put your name into the system, and then by chance, if they drew your name, you were able to come and compete in the event. And of all those people that participated and were drawn from the lottery, didn't leave empty-handed. They were given this promo card Leafeon for participating in the event. Now I can't say the same for the distribution for the winter event. Little is known on how many actually were distributed in this event. That is why this trophy card is valued and searched for less, because there's more an abundance of them. But there's an approximate number between 2,000 and 3,000 of these cards were given out at these events. Now in contrast to the spring event, in the winter event it was a lot easier to get the Mysterious Pearl trophy card. To digest how you even competed and won these trophy cards, you first have to understand stamps. When you win 2 Pokemon games in a row, you would get 1 stamp in your Pokemon Battle Passport. Now if you won 1 game but lost the other, you would have to re-queue and wait to be matched up with another Pokemon trainer. After winning 2 Pokemon games in a row, you would get 1 stamp and then you move on to queue up with another Pokemon trainer. After collecting 7, that's 14 games, 7 stamps, which is two consecutive in a row every single time, you would then move on to the Premier stage. Now once you make it to the Premier stage, all you had to do was win a knockout style arena challenge. Once you win that, congratulations, you won a Mysterious Pearl. Now the opinions in this hobby about this card are a little mixed. A lot of collectors in the space don't see the Mysterious Pearl as a challenging card to collect, probably from price memory as well as their experience in the hobby, because this card is always available online. Available to purchase, but at what cost? The prices of these cards range from $3,000 to $5,000 raw, and upwards of $10,000 in a PSA 9 or even more in a PSA 10. Recently, a PSA 10 went for about $7,000 in auction, but that does not mean that it's easy to obtain this card below that price point or even at that price point. These cards, especially in 2023, are sparse and not many are found even on the open market. Looking at the population report of this card, in PSA, they have authenticated 118 of these cards. 9 PSA 8s, 44 PSA 9s, and 42 PSA 10s. In CGC, there are about 12 of them. And in BGS, because their website is atrocious and trying to find out how many population there actually is, I could not figure out how many there were graded. But I would assume it was close to the CGC or maybe a little bit higher of them graded. So maybe maximum 20 graded in BGS. Now, like I said before, the availability of this card on the market, it is available, unlike the Miracle Diamond and the Wonder Platinum. Now, going to the availability on the market, it is available on the market, even a card from 2007. Now, that does not mean it is cheap by any sort of the imagination. There is 2 raw copies of this card in Japan currently on the market, starting at around $6,000. Currently, there are no raw copies in the United States for sale. As well as there's 1 PSA graded card in Japan, a PSA 10, as well as 2 PSA graded cards in the United States starting around $10,000. Now take that knowledge as you will on if this card is truly highly available at all times. I believe if the winter event did not happen and these cards, extra cards, thousands of cards were not distributed, then this card would be highly sought after. But because of the enormous amount that was distributed, collectors are reluctant at collecting these cards because they don't know how many of them are actually out there. Now at the time of the recording, there's less than 150 of these cards graded in BGS, CGC, or PSA over since 2007. So what is that? 15 years it's been around. Less than 150 cards. I do not follow suit the opinion of the other collectors of the space of them sticking their nose up at this card. This card is truly rare and valuable and has a great story behind it. Now yes, this card raw and graded is always available to purchase, but that doesn't mean it's less valuable than a lot of the other trophy cards in the space. Given that logic, the Illustrator is always available to purchase at $4 million. But this is the lower end of the trophy cards available. But if you want a solid trophy card that has a great story and is decently priced, I would suggest try hunting for one of these. They are not easy to come by, trust me. I've had collectors come to me saying, everyone says the Mysterious Pearl is always available to purchase and just an easy pickup. But I've had people come to me saying that they spend 4 months trying to find one, and either it's out of their price point or it's in such beat up condition that they don't even want to purchase it. Some collectors also do not like the artwork on this card. I think what really sells trophy cards are not the shiny bits in the holographic, are not the artwork in the card, but the story behind it. Just look at Tropical Wind. No holographic in sight, could be viewed, if a basic collector or just a very newbie collector came into the scene, they probably would have thought it was just a set card. But because of the story behind it, it was first of the world's cards, and the story and the knowledge behind it, it is valued as a high trophy card. And a PSA 8 sells for more than $20,000 in today's market. That is why I don't really follow the crowd in saying the Pearl is a garbage tier trophy card, where I see great value and great rarity in this card and history, rich history behind it. 2007 was more than 15 years ago. That is a long time in collectibles. Just in the past 3 years, we've had 2 boom and busts, where certain cards have gone up 100%, 300%, 1,000% in value, where some of these cards haven't moved for a long time. Now, this next trophy card I'll be discussing today, I sadly do not own. It is the Miracle Diamond. Now, the Miracle Diamond is a card with a full holographic silver border lining around a half-art illustration by Royeda, showcasing a holographic diamond emulant superimposed on a red and blue dash effect with the legendary Pokemon Dialga ready for battle in the background. Now, this card was given out at later events, at the 2007 Summer Battle Roads event, as well as the Spring Battle Roads 2008 event. This card text reads, "Look at all your face-down prize cards. You may choose one. Look at all of your face-down prize cards. You may choose one Pokemon you find there. Show it to your opponent and put it in your hand. If you do, put this card as a prize card face up, instead of discarding it." The gold foil text on the bottom reads, "Pokemon Trading Card Official Card Game Tournament Award." Now, the distribution of this card is very well known. At between both events, the Summer and the Spring 2008 Summer 2007 event, there were a total of 120 distributed. At the 2007 Summer event, there were 96 awarded with the plaque. Now, this Summer 2007 event was a little bit structured, a little bit different than the Spring or the Winter event. This event was structured in the way of stages, where after you qualified for being in the tournament, everyone started in stage 1. And as you win game after game after game, you move from stage 1 to stage 2 to stage 3 to stage 4 to stage 5. And if you won stage 5, then you earned a spot in the final tournament. At each event, there were 32 or 64 trainers in each age division competing against one another for this Miracle Diamond trophy card. After all said and done, the top 3 trainers in each age division at each event received one Miracle Diamond trophy card in a plaque. Being so many fewer cards being distributed, 120 versus 2,000 to 3,000 of the Mysterious Pearl, you would assume that the price is significantly higher, and you would be correct. Just the PSA report that shows on their website has a grand total of 13 of these cards graded, as the top 3 tiers is PSA 8, one of them, 2 PSA 9s, and 8 PSA 10s. The last known sale of a raw with the plaque, Miracle Diamond was in 2022, where Rusty TCA Gaming sold it for $30,000. There is currently none on the market available, raw or graded. This adds to the rarity of this card. Yes, 120 were distributed, but where did they go? Majority of Japanese people keep them as trophies on their shelf or never to hit the market ever again. Now, for the opinion of the collectors of the space of the Miracle Diamond, across the board, pretty much S-tier release, S-tier card, along with the rarity of the card, the known 120 cards distributed. Now originally there were supposed to be more than 120 of these cards distributed during these events, but at the spring 2008 event there was a bomb threat that was called in, and the event had to close indefinitely. This caused only 120 distributed during these two events. 96 at the summer 2007 event, and only 24 at the spring 2008 event. And now moving on to the hardest trophy card to obtain during these events, the Wonder Platinum. Now the last trophy card, and most sought after out of these three, is the Wonder Platinum. The only trophy card out of these three that are actually numbered, 033 DPT-P. Now the Wonder Platinum is a card with a full holographic silver border lining around a half-art illustration by Ro Yeda showcasing a holographic platinum amulet superimposed on a blue-green swirl effect with the legendary Pokemon Giratina ready for battle in the background. This card was only given out during the 2009 Japan World Championship Pokemon trading card game tournament. This was the finalists' prize, and because of that, only 36 were distributed at this specific event. Now, at this event, at the initial qualifying stage, there were 47 prefectures happening at the same time, which is actually the largest in TCG history. If you were able to make it past the qualifying stage, you then went to the second stage. This was held in 6 regions. And then the final stage was held at the Prince Park Tower in Tokyo on May 4th, 2009. All the finalists were given this one card, the Wonder Platinum. The TCG's final stage used the same Swiss draw system as the second stage tournaments. This is a non-elimination tournament where there were a fixed number of rounds. Each player would be paired against another player with a similar record, and players would get points depending on results. The Wonder Platinums were also given to the VGC as well as the TCG games. In total, 36 Wonder Platinums were officially distributed to winners of the TCG and VGC. They were all given out in plaques and denoted their placement, and if it was the TCG or the VGC. Now with the Wonder Platinum, the population reports show that only 1 was graded with CGC, a 3.5, 11 were graded with PSA, and at least 1 was graded with BGS, being one of the rarest of these 3 cards. There has not been a recent sale of this card in recent time, nor could I find any online. Now, being so rare, there is a double-edged sword when it comes to how do you value this card. With the mysterious Pearl, we have many different sales of this card, so we can slowly see over time it being more and more pricey. But when it comes to the Wonder Platinum and also the Miracle Diamond, so few make it to the market where there's actually a recent comp of a price that went into a recent auction. A lot of collectors see these cards as being so similar, being the same amulet design, and the only real difference is what is in the middle, being the pearl, the platinum, or the diamond. Where this card would not be as sought after or desired than a World Championship Pikachu holding a trophy card, or the 95 or the 96 Pika trophies. But I would say these cards stand out from the rest in many regards. And I would say that in regards to all these championship trophy cards. These specific Diamond and Pearl releases, you have some very unique designs, such as the Master Scroll, the Master Key, all the mysterious Pearl, Miracle Diamond, Wonder Platinum. They do not fit the normal trophy card of Pikachu holding a trophy in full art fashion. Now, because of these factors, these cards aren't as heavily sought after as the Pika trophies, because at first glance, it isn't abundantly clear that these are trophy cards. But I would say it doesn't take away from its unique looks, desirable aspects as well as the history behind it. As I'll be talking about in future videos, the history behind these cards are the most important things. And that's why I collect these cards. Collect these trophy cards from the Diamond and Pearl era because of the uniqueness factor, because of the holographic, because of the history majority behind all these cards. And I think looking back on it in the future 5-10 years, I don't think the artwork will matter that much, where what really matters is the rarity as well as the history behind these cards, behind these tournaments, behind these stories. And in closing, I would like to give my thoughts on the manner of these cards, of the artwork, of the history, of the collectability of these cards, and obtainability of these cards. I believe these cards are still obtainable below the $50,000 range, especially if you can get a Pearl. A lot of collectors stick up their nose at the mysterious Pearl because it's so much abundant in the market. But I feel that this is just a great thing for collectors like myself that hasn't been around for 10-15 years, that still can obtain one of these cards and still obtain the history behind these cards. Yes, I believe majority of these cards are from the winter event, but there's no actual way to distinguish the spring and winter event pearls. But again, I don't think that takes away from the history and from the uniqueness and beauty of this card. It is still an S-tier release, S-tier artwork, and S-tier card in my opinion. Even comparing to the Diamond or the Platinum, those cards to me are not even attainable at my level. But being just a come and go collector, I can obtain a card like this and put it into my collection. Even a Platinum that has a CGC 3.5 will at least sell for nearly $20,000 because of its rarity and its exclusivity. That is my opinions. Those are my feelings about the Pearl, about the releases, and hopefully this video has given you a little bit more knowledge behind these trophy cards and why they sell for tens of thousands of dollars, why rarity is so important in the world of collectibles, and how even though there are 2,000 copies of these allegedly distributed, that only 100 of them can be graded and can be possibly in the market, that some of these are just in their homes forever, where they won't leave the stands or won't leave the shelves that they're stuck up on, where not everyone is going and flipping these cards, where there's only at one given time 2 or 3 of these cards even graded on the market, versus a set card that has a pull rate of very low, yes, most definitely, but there are thousands and thousands of more of these on the market and in people's homes ready to flip on the market than they are a trophy card from 2007 that only happened in Japan. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you want more, subscribe and comment down below on if you have any questions. I try to answer as many questions as I can and comments. I love communicating with you guys and everything, but let me know and reach out to my Instagram if you have any other questions as well, or if you're confused about something, whatever, just DM me and I'll quickly respond. But thanks again guys for tuning in, and can't wait for the next time I go over some wonderful Japanese trophy cards. So with that, I'll end you with some more B-roll of the Pearl. So catch you guys later. See ya.